This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Kyle Bauer talks hemp with Kelly Ripple about hemp laws and what you need to know to add it to your rotation.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have Kelly Ripple with Kansans for Hemp. Kelly, bring us up to speed on where the laws are currently with Kansas, because about a year ago there was a lot of changes that made hemp a viable crop to a lot of people.
That is true. In 2018, the Kansas legislature passed a bill that allowed the establishment of an industrial hemp research program under the Department of Agriculture, and that program has now been expanded thanks to Governor Kelly, who signed the expansion into the commercial hemp program, and that is a result of the 2018 Farm Bill that was passed federally.
Now, you had a lot of people in the first year participate.
This is true. Yeah, we had well over 300 apply, and there was almost 300. It was about 270 were awarded licenses, and that's for cultivation, distribution, and processing.
The distribution, I'm sorry, you used the word distribution different than me, but the when you showed the map of the people that had applied, it pretty much was statewide.
This is true. Farmers are cultivating, processing, and even distributing all over the state. All corners are pretty much represented. There is no one region that farmers are interested. There's interest in hemp all across the state.
There's still the regulatory issues that scares some people and that people are having to deal with.
This is true. So the way that the 2014 Farm Bill had allowed states to create programs, there is a requirement of becoming licensed by the Department of Agriculture. And Kansas farmers especially are not used to that. They don't have to get licensed to grow corn or sorghum or wheat. And so that is a difference. There are some fees associated with that as well. So that's, you have to account for some investment, of course, into this. But as we reintroduce hemp, what we're finding is there are markets that end products that can be used for, and some of those can be pretty lucrative. And as we see regulations continue and evolve over time, we're going to see an expansion of other markets. We're looking at potentially 9 to 10 industries that can be affected by hemp.
With those multiple producers that applied for a license, most of them were very tiny acreage.
They were, yeah. The predominant size was 80 acres, but a lot of them have been fewer than that. People planting half acre, 2 acres, 5 acres, just to kind of get their hands dirty and really understand what this plant is going to do. It's an ancient plant, but there are so many lessons to be learned from it across the board. And there's going to be a lot of data coming out from this year as well as next year. And with the variance of soil climate, the soil types, the different climate zones throughout Kansas, we're going to see a lot of variation as far as what can be grown in different parts of the state. And it does increase biodiversity. So through phytoremediation, hemp is known to increase successive yields of other crops. So if you introduce it as a rotation one year, you may see a benefit in your other commodity that next year.
So do you get any indication toward next year? Will acreage increase, or have you got a feel from growers on what they're thinking about for 2020?
It's a really good question. I think overall, we are going to see more interest. Interest is just growing all the time. I think with this year, farmers were a little reluctant to just jump in head first, and they wanted to kind of wait it out and see how things were going. I think the acreage is going to increase. Of course, the limit of acreage per license will increase anyway with the program to 320 acres per license. But I think what we're going to see is probably an exponential increase in acreage.
Thanks, Kyle. Stay with us for the Kansas soybean update coming up right after these messages.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agamandkansas.com.